Few things I want to in terms of the phone. If they sent it to me without Horizon, February of 2017, choosing not to send me either of them. I'm here. I'm working. I'm ready to sign a budget if they send me one. I'm ready to meet with them if they want to have anything to discuss. I've spoken today to the Senate President. I've spoken today to the Republican leader in the Assembly. If they send the budget, I'm ready to execute on the budget. We're prepared. Our budget team is prepared to analyze each one of the budgets, no matter which one of them comes in. But you can't refuse to sign a budget. You can't be sitting there in the Assembly with 27 votes up on the board in an Assembly that you control. And I don't know what the Speaker has to say about that. It's his House. And he now has barely over, one vote over, half his members who are willing to vote for a $35.7 billion budget. I'm responsible for running the state. I have to run the state with the money that's appropriated to me by the legislature. As of yesterday, the legislature appropriated no money to me. And so the only thing available to are the people of New Jersey. That's what we're doing. And I stand prepared. I'm sitting here waiting for a budget, and no one will send me one. So these are calls that they're going to have to make amongst themselves. But I want you to remember something. Republicans are not fighting here. It's the Democrats that are fighting. And I'm, ready to work, but can't work if I don't have any money. And so these guys have to get their act together and decide what's more important to them. I've told you I will be just as happy either way. If I get a budget that's at $34.4 billion or less, $35.4 billion or less, that's what I presented in February. If I get the Horizon bill and the lottery bill on my desk with a larger budget, happy to execute that budget as they send it to me from those two committees. But right now, I've got no choices to make. They have not presented me with any choices. If they present me with a choice, I'll make the choice, believe me. I won't sit around here and dilly-dally. But they presented me with no choices. So we'll continue to be here. We'll call them in tomorrow as well. And tomorrow... No, I don't think the Senate chair is blaming this.
Your speech yesterday laid out you with another bill, another proposal in the horizon.
No, like I said to you yesterday, if someone comes to me with a bona fide counteroffer, and by bona fide counteroffer I mean one that they prove to me they can pass, right? We talked yesterday about 41 signatures on the Democrat side in the Assembly and 21 signatures on the Democrat side in the Senate. If they come to me with a bona fide counteroffer on a major public policy initiative that I've presented but has not yet been adopted, I will consider that offer. I'm not going to promise you, Maddie, that I'm going to take it, but I will consider it. Absolutely. I'm not saying this or nothing, and I never have. But, how many different ways can I say I'm open? I'm open to signing my budget, I'm open to signing their budget with the Horizon bill, or I'm open to another proposal they'd like to make. But that proposal has to be a bona fide one. It can't be one where they're just floating it out. No, we'll talk about it in the summer. And let's end this, by the way, this sophistry from the Speaker about he'll hold hearings in July. We all know what that means. Like I said, it wasn't yesterday, maybe it was 2 days ago, I quoted that great American philosopher Wimpy when they're out campaigning for re-election. Book and calling the shots for this. So get Bob Marino and the Senate President. If Chair was listening at that point, but deal on the budget in 2011, pension and benefit reform, and has promised that, and if it was left, and he will not find anyone who was in the room in 2011, which he was not, who will tell him that they had to deal with me on the budget and then I reneged. I never did. And so, this is just his excuse. When Bob Marino tells him it's okay to make a deal, that's when the Speaker will make a deal. Matt?
He says he can't trust you. Can you trust him?
Listen, I trust him, and I have trusted him on a number of things, but I'm not going to trust him on something that all of us, based on our common experience, knows won't happen. They are not coming back here in an election year, David, in the middle of the summer to hold hearings and vote on a bill. And by the way, he just said he'll hold hearings. He didn't commit to passing the bill. So what am I getting exactly? Come on. It's a fake, phony offer, which we all know based on our experience won't be fulfilled. He'll say, oh, I tried to get my members in, but they were all so busy and I couldn't get them to come. Oh, I got enough for the committee, but I don't have enough to have a quorum in the assembly. Come on. This is when agreements are made. We make all the agreements at once so that everybody knows that what they've bargained for, they're going to get. And he can go back, and I want you to go to Steve Sweeney today and ask him, David, because if you're going to continue to ask this question, which you absolutely have a right to ask, and is a good question to ask, I want you to put Steve on camera and ask him, did I ever violate a budget agreement with Steve? And I'm telling you the answer is going to be no. Matt.
So you've said that the speaker has promised things and it hasn't come through, but to put a finer point on this, has the speaker ever promised you, has he ever violated an agreement with you?
He's violated an agreement with Steve and I on Atlantic City. Yeah, when he said he would hold hearings and he was holding back. And then remember, he came up with his own bill. And then he put his own bill up for a vote, and he only got 38 votes, I think, on that one. I think it was 38. It was 38 or 39, but he was short of 41. And then had to retrench. And then we had to wait longer to get the bill done. And the same thing happened on the interest arbitration cap. So, listen. But Matt, let's put all that aside for a second. Let's put all the history aside for a second on my individual relationship with him, or Steve's individual relationship with him. Let's just look at logic. Does anyone really believe they're going to come back here and do hearings on Horizon in the middle of the summer when they're all up for re-election? And then get a full session of both the Assembly and the Senate to pass the bills? I've just never seen it happen. And I don't know why it's going to happen now. Yeah, Andrew.
The Senate President today said he heard a rumor that quote, other side or something to that effect. Some folks were wanting to drag out the shutdown for 7 days so that the casinos would shut down and that Sweeney presumably would be the one to blink. What is the law on that? Is it a 7-day exemption?
Yeah, my understanding of it is, and I'm having the Attorney General look at this today, Andrew, so this is, and I want everybody to understand this is a preliminary, because I did this over the phone this morning with the Attorney General, and he's looking at it again now. But an initial reading of the statute is that it's a 7-day extension beyond the date of the closure for casinos and horse racing tracks. But whether there are some exceptions that can be made or something else through an executive order or some other action by the governor, he was looking into that, and he's going to get back to me later today. And once I have that answer, I'll get back to you guys and let you know. But right now, a first blush reading of the statute that was passed back in 06, in the aftermath of 06, was 7-day extension, Andrew. Dustin.
If you want a budget, why not rip up the Republican votes to get it out of the Assembly?
Because Republicans don't support a $35.7 billion budget. They don't. Because it hurts them on school funding. No, wait a second. So you want me to go to Bramnick and say, hey, look at Bramnick shaking his head, okay? You want me to go to Bramnick and say, here, your guys take a vote that hurts school funding in Republican districts, that spends money that you don't want spent in that manner, and does nothing to help you guys in terms of your own school funding. You vote for that, but don't worry about it. I'll take the credit for taking it out. That's a good way to lose all your friends. And they have an election to contend with. Why should they bail Vinnie Prieto out? No. Listen, Vinnie Prieto, here's the problem, Dustin. He's the speaker. I'll tell you this, if he was the speaker, we wouldn't be here. We would not be here if Bramnick was the speaker. Vinnie's the speaker. You know what? To those whose much is given, much is expected. He's got a lead now. He's got a... No. Island Beach State Park. About your TMZ stuff. We did it, and with the Attorney General's office. Now they know why. Yeah. Well, I don't. Yeah, and see, I love when you guys ask questions like that. Where are the criticisms? Just generally remember something. Chamber of Commerce and BIA has supported many initiatives of mine over the course of time, many. And my general experience has been they have absolutely no influence on what's going on. So I don't really care. Yeah.
So if you're a person whose car registration expired at the end of June,
You should go online and renew it, because online is still working. Yeah.
You don't have the code, you're not allowed to, so you're planning to.
Well, then you're gonna have to go and get your car registered when MVC opens back up. What they should do is call the number on the sign that's on the MVC of Speaker Pareto's office. How is he one? When they go to the MVC and it's not open, people could go get their registration tomorrow. But that's why we also encourage people to use the online function. They should be using the online function. It saves them. What else do you expect me to do? I can't wave a magic wand to get a budget on my desk. I can't sign an executive order and get a budget on my desk. It's his responsibility. These bills originate in the Assembly. It's his responsibility to get a budget down to the Senate and get the Senate then to approve it and send it to me. He hasn't done it. And I'm frustrated by it. But the idea that I had any option is crazy. Well, what are my options? When I don't have money at midnight on July 1st, I can't just go, well, hell with it. Keep everything open. The Constitution says if you don't have a budget on July 1st, and saying that sends numbers. All you
Get paid through the state,
call correspondent about an Eskimo. No, he one who dug his heels in and drew a line in the sand. And I will tell you, since he walked out of the room, I haven't heard from him. So I don't know how he expects to resolve it. He doesn't have votes. He could resolve it if he had votes. He doesn't have votes.
you could also, I mean, theoretically, gather your Republican forces in the Assembly and some Central and South Jersey Democrats in the Assembly and help engineer a coup and get a new speaker in there who might help you?
David, as I discussed before,
I know you don't like to do that.
no. It's not that I don't like to do it. I did it once. It was an abject failure. And I'm not doing something again that failed. Should legislative. We
You
should.
don't think you could make that happen?
Speaker hasn't picked up the phone since he walked out of my office. You know, he wants to change his mind. He knows where to find me. And I'm giving him an option to get out from under. Either pass the big budget or pass the small budget. Either one you pass to me, I'll sign. But, you know, some people, like a large number of his own caucus, 25 of the 52, don't like the idea of the smaller budget. And it seems like almost the entirety of the Democrats in the Senate don't like that option either. Well, then what am I supposed to do? They won't agree with each other. So I have to sit here and wait for them to get it together on that side of it. That's one of the few areas of state government where I can't control it. I can't order them to do something. And on the special session stuff, all I want to do is to make sure they understand that I'm going to be here for work every day, and they should be. But absent sending the state police out to haul their rear ends in here, I don't think we're quite yet at the moment where I should be doing that, and especially not on a Sunday. I think I should probably hold that tool back for another time if I need it. Yeah. Depends on what the amendment states. All I keep sending it to me. If you're telling people that if you want to try to offer me something different than the Horizon bill that matches one of my previous, publicly stated policy priorities, and you have the support to pass it, I'll consider it. If you want to suggest some changes to the Horizon bill, I already compromised with Senator Vitale. Now, I'm not going to go too far, but am I open to listening? Of course I am. That's what I'm here every day doing. I'm not the person who's drawn a line in the sand here. And by the way, he doesn't control 41 votes. I control the one. And the one is telling you, I'll do what I'm saying I'll do. And so I can't control Steve's 21. Vinny obviously can't control his 41. But I can control the one. So if they get stuff to my desk, I'll act and I'll use my constitutional authority to do it. But if you can't get anything to my desk when saying I'm open on my budget, I'm open on your budget, I'm open on another policy priority, and I'm open on discussing the Horizon bill. What else am I supposed to do? Absent, the NJTV position, which David took over for Michael since Michael's not here, which is just give them everything you want so we can go home.
That's not my position.
Yeah, it sounded like it. Go ahead. You had your hand up.
What about toll booth collectors? Are they considered essential?
I don't know.
Because they're still taking tolls.
Well, I guess if they're still there, David, then I must not have told them to go home. I don't remember. I went through a list of whatever it is, 14 or 15 different cabinet areas. I don't remember what Rick Hammer told me about toll booth collectors, but if they're still there, I assume that means that it's essential to collect that toll money. The same way I'm keeping the lottery people in. Fourth largest revenue stream in the state, man. Let's go. Like I said to you yesterday, got to be in it to win it. Yes, you haven't had one yet.
Governor, did you travel by state helicopter to Island Beach? And
Yes, I traveled there and I traveled back, and I'll travel back again by helicopter. Yeah.
plan on going back tonight?
Yeah, that's where my family is sleeping, so that's where I'll sleep tonight. When I have a choice between sleeping with my family or sleeping alone, I generally like to sleep with where my family is. Matt.
Governor, so you worked with Sheila Oliver. You're a close watcher of New Jersey political history.
Yes, I am.
I don't know, I'll call you an expert. You're an expert in political history here in New Jersey.
All right.
So,
Press conference is over.
so what, I don't know that you call the speaker, you use the word stubborn, but you're all but saying that he's stubborn. Where does he rank, would you say, in,
Well, it depends on how this ends.
okay,
See, I'm a results-oriented guy, Matt.
so you don't want to,
Well, no. It's not that I don't want to. It's that I think the jury's out, right? Depends on how this ends. I have been, for all 8 years, a results-oriented governor. This is about putting touchdowns in the end zone. This is about getting things done, not just talking about things, but getting things done. And so I couldn't rate him at this point. When this episode is over, I'll have a complete picture of my interaction with Speaker Prieto, and then I could give him that expert political and historical evaluation that you claim I'll have. And I'm very flattered by that, and I thank you. All right. Thank you all very much for coming. Enjoy the rest of your Sunday. We will be here tomorrow, assuming something doesn't happen tonight, and we'll send out a letter to you all, a copy of the letter we sent to the legislature about what time we will begin. And as soon as I have an answer on when I'll be speaking to all of you again, Brian will let you know that. And Brian will get you, Maddie and Andrew, the numbers on the furloughed people before we leave today. But 30 to 35,000 is a ballpark estimate. Thank you all.